Keanu Reeves is worth nearly $380 million. But here's the thing, if you didn't know who he was and you saw him in public, you'd never actually know he was rich and famous. While most Hollywood stars are out here collecting Ferraris and posting yacht pictures, Keanu is here riding the subway to work, he's eating sandwiches on park benches, and he's treating regular people like, well, regular people. And that's not an act, that's just who he is. So today we are diving into why one of the richest actors on the planet chooses to live such a simple life, and why his approach to money might actually be the smartest thing about him, and how you can use the same approach in your life. To understand why Keanu lives the way he does, you have to go back to the beginning, and his beginning wasn't easy. He was born in Beirut, raised in Toronto, and his father abandoned him and the family when Keanu was just 3 years old. But this was only the start. Later on in life, tragedy hit even harder. His daughter was stillborn, and shortly after, his partner Jennifer died in a car accident. These aren't the kind of things that make you care about designer clothes or expensive cars. They're the kind of things that completely reshape how you see the world. Keanu himself said it best, "Money doesn't mean anything to me. I've made a lot of money, but I want to enjoy life and not stress myself out about building my bank account." Sometimes experiencing real loss makes you figure out pretty quickly that happiness doesn't come from possessions, and that perspective has really stuck with him. So what does a $380 million lifestyle actually look like for Keanu? Honestly, it's shockingly normal. Let's start with his house. He lives in a Hollywood Hills home worth about $8 million. Now, I know what you're thinking. $8 million does not sound modest, and you're right. It's not a small house. It's 5,600 square feet. But here's the context. Compared to his net worth, this is actually nothing. Most actors his level are dropping $50, $60, or even $100 million on estates. Keanu could easily afford that. He just doesn't see the point. Then there's how he gets around. You've probably seen the video of Keanu on the subway, just standing there like any other commuter. In one viral moment, he gives up his seat to a woman carrying heavy bags. It's just a guy being decent. People call him a true gentleman, and honestly, the bar is on the floor when giving up your seat makes headlines, but that's just how rare it is in Hollywood. And his fashion? He wears jeans, t-shirts, and sometimes a leather jacket. That's pretty much it. No logo-covered designer fits. He's not trying to impress anybody. And then there's the famous sad Keanu photo. You've probably seen it. Him sitting alone on a park bench eating a sandwich. The internet turned it into a meme, but Keanu just laughed it off. Because to him, there's nothing sad about eating lunch outside. That's just life. Just because Keanu doesn't spend money on himself doesn't mean he's stingy. In fact, it's the complete opposite. The man is ridiculously generous. He just does it very quietly. He's been quietly supporting cancer research for years through a private foundation. This was inspired by his sister Kim's battle with leukemia in the 1990s. Then there are stories from film sets. On The Matrix, he was said to have shared millions of dollars with the costume and special effects teams, who normally don't see that kind of money. He was also said to have gifted Harley-Davidson motorcycles to the entire stunt crew, and one time he quietly slipped a crew member $20,000 who was going through some rough financial trouble. And apparently this generosity has never stopped. After wrapping up John Wick 4 in 2021, he gifted each of his 4 stuntmen personalized Rolex submarine watches. This kind of watch would retail for around $10,000 each. Each one was custom engraved with their name and a message. The John Wick 5. Thank you, Keanu. These weren't just expensive gifts. They were personal, thoughtful tokens of appreciation for people who literally risk their bodies for his films. He has even taken pay cuts so studios could afford to hire other big actors. Think about that. He is giving up his own paycheck so better talent can come on board and film with him. As Keanu put it, "I could live on what I've already made for the next few centuries," and he meant it. For him, hoarding wealth just doesn't make sense when he could actually help other people. Now there is one thing that Keanu does spend his money on, but it's not what you might expect. He co-founded a company called Arch Motorcycle. These aren't your typical mass-produced bikes. Every single one is hand-built, custom-tailored to the rider, and costs upwards of $85,000. But for Keanu, this isn't about showing off. It's about craftsmanship and his passion. He's not out there buying yachts or private islands. He's investing in something he truly, genuinely loves. And that says everything about how he truly sees wealth. He sees it as a tool to create and experience things that actually matter to him. In an industry where excess is the norm, Keanu Reeves is the exception. He's proof that true wealth isn't about what you own, it's about how you live. But here's what makes Keanu's story so powerful. It's actually applicable to the rest of us. You don't need to be worth $380 million to live like Keanu. The principles are simple. Live below your means, spend money on what you actually care about, not what impresses other people, and when you can, be generous. Keanu could own 10 mansions, but he chooses one modest home because that's all he needs. He could collect supercars, but instead he invests in something he truly cares about, a motorcycle company. He could hoard his wealth, but he shares it with the people who help him succeed. That's the lesson. Spend on what matters, cut out what doesn't, and never let your bank account determine your worth as a person. In a world that constantly tells us you need more, Keanu Reeves proves that less can actually be more if you're spending your money on the right things. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.